Hello everyone, this is Professor Reimer. This video is for my world history class on Thursday, February 4th and Friday, February 5th. It's entitled Unit 6, DOL 2, the Columbian Exchange. So in this lesson, we will explain the impact of the Columbian Exchange by creating an annotated map. And as always, let's begin with a preview. Now, here is, in a very short description, what the Columbian Exchange is. It was when new plants and animals were introduced to Europe and the Americas. So this transfer of plants and animals between Europe and the Americas, but also between the Americas and Africa, Europe and, or I'm sorry, Americas and in Asia. You're going to read and learn all about that. But so this process transformed the diets of people in both regions. Review the table below and decide whether each plant or animal came from Europe or from the Americas. So there are 10 plants and animals there. Put a check in the column in which you think these plants and animals came. Pause the video, do that now. All right, how correct were you? Did you think that peanuts came from the Americas? Especially if you're a fan of Asian food or especially like Thai food, right? Full of chili peppers and peanuts. Those are native to the Americas. All right, how many of you said Turkey came from Europe because there's a country in Europe called Turkey? No, wrong. You'd be incorrect. Turkeys come from the Americas. All right. In this lesson, we're going to use another crash course video exclusively on the Columbian Exchange. So pause this video, find the note-taking guide that I put in the Google Classroom, and use it to take notes as you watch the video, and pay really, really close attention to the impact of the Columbian Exchange. All right. Remember, in our objective, we are explaining the impact, right? The result of, right? The consequence of, the effect of the Columbian Exchange, right? That is what you should be focused on. Be sure you get these effects or the impact of the Columbian Exchange in your notes. All right. Pause the video now, and let me put that name. Go back. Why is it not going back? Wrong way. There we go. All right. So here's the video. Crash Course World History number 23, Columbian Exchange. Pause the video. Go watch it now. All right. So we're back. Yes, this is Unit 6, DOL 2 on the Columbian Exchange, explaining the impact of the Columbian Exchange by creating an annotated map. You just learned about the Columbian Exchange and the impact. Now let me teach you how to make this annotated map. Here is the task. So to create an annotated map depicting European exploration around the world in the 15th and 16th centuries and its impacts from place to place. So annotated means you're going to write on this map, right? Depicting European exploration and its impacts. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, what's got to go on the map? What do I do? First of all, here's what the map looks like. I put the PDF in the assignment, so you're going to need to download it, save it to your computer. Notice it just has the continents and the labels of the continents, nothing else. You're going to fill it all in yourself. Here are the instructions, 5 ones. So let me read them all first and then break them down one by one. So you're going to draw the routes of at least 3 oceanic expeditions undertaken by Europeans in the 15th and 16th centuries. Label the routes with the name of the expedition's leader and the year or years the expeditions occurred. So that's number 1. Number 2, outline and label the main European colonies in Latin America with the name of the colony and the European country that controlled it. That's number 2. Number 3, label at least 1 European trading post or fort or factory. You might come across them with different names. I want to give them all. They're all basically the same thing. In Africa, we'll include the name of the European country and the name of the fort. All right. Number 4, label at least 1 European trading post, fort, factory in Southeast Asia. Include the name of the European country and name of the fort. So number 3, this is in Africa. And number 4, Southeast Asia. Same instructions, just different place. Number 5, and this is the meat of the assignment. This is where I'm going to be looking for the most work, and I'm going to be giving the most weight when I grade them. So next to each continent, except Australia and Antarctica, you're going to make a text box, and in it, describe. So describe means you're going to give 1 to 3 sentences. Describe one impact the Columbian Exchange had on the continent. So those are the 5 instructions to do the task. Now here's how to do it one by one. All right, step number 1 says to draw the routes of at least 3 oceanic expeditions. Here's an example of just one. So let me go to the map. So you see there, I have drawn Columbus's expedition to what ends up being the Bahamas, the West Indies, and then back to Europe, back to Spain, right? Wrote his name, Columbus, 1492 to 1493. You're going to do this 3 times for 3 different expeditions. Now, if you want to use Columbus, go right ahead. That was step number 1. Step number 2, outline and label the main European colonies in Latin America. Let me show you one of them. Here in South America, Brazil. Now, how you outline and label, I leave to you. I used sort of this like crossed lines to show. If you want to shade it in, you can do that. If you want to, I don't know, make different colors, right? Creative. As long as I know that you know what's the name of the colony, that's Brazil, and which European country controlled it, Portugal, or I use the adjective, the Portuguese. All right, so that was step number 2 in the assignment instructions. Step number 3 and 4, you're going to label the European trading posts in Africa and in Southeast Asia, 1 for each of those continents. All right, I gave you one not in Africa, not in Southeast Asia, but in Southwest Asia as an example. So this is the Port Hormuz, which the Portuguese gained control after a violent attack in the early 16th century. So you see I put a little X and then the name of the fort plus the name of the country. That is what I want you to do for a fort in Africa, but you could use the west side or the east side, and then Southeast Asia down here. Okay, 1 for Africa, 1 for Southeast Asia. That's steps 3 and 4. Finally, step 5, and this is, remember, the most important part of this assignment. Here's where you need to spend most of your time. You're going to make text boxes for each continent and describe one impact the Columbian Exchange had on the continent. So here we go. And see how I did it in the corners? I think that's going to be best, right? You're going to have, at least 4 corners, and then where you're going to squeeze Europe, maybe you'll have some room up here at the top. I'll show you the PDF in just a minute. So in North America, the Columbian Exchange resulted in the deaths of millions of Native Americans because of the diseases that the Europeans brought with them. So remember, I said describe. That means with details. This is put it in 1 sentence, but you might need 2 sentences. These words that I underlined, these are words that you could use as starters for your own sentences. So for example, for South America, you could say, in South America, the Columbian Exchange resulted in, and then give me the impact, because of, or use some other words to, add details, descriptions to your text box, right? I underline those words because they would be helpful for you to use as well. All right, here's a partially finished product, right? I got my text box, I got 1 voyage, I have 1 colony, and I have 1 port, though it's not in the right continent. So yours, a fully finished product, you're going to have all of the colonies of Latin America filled in. You're going to have a port, a European fort in Africa, a European fort in the Pacific or in Southeast Asia. You're going to have 3 expeditions. Oops. And you're going to have 5 text boxes, right? 1 for each continent: North America, South America, Africa, Asia, Europe. You don't have to include Antarctica, and you don't have to include Australia. So if you're thinking, I'm not going to have enough space, so if I go down here to the actual PDF, so I'm going to give you the PDF, right? There is a lot of space on this PDF. There's space up here. There's space off to the corners. So I think you're going to have enough. I think you have enough space to make your text boxes. All right. You might be asking, I need some more help. Don't forget you got the textbook, both chapter 20, which we've been using, but also chapter 20, lesson 3. All right, there's some good maps in there about Southeast Asia you're going to want to check out. In chapter 17, there's great maps about Latin America. We just watched Crash Course video number 23 on the Columbian Exchange, but if you wanted to go back and watch the one on explorers like Columbus, Da Gama, Zhang He, you might want to do that as well to get some more information. All right. Finally, if you're like, Mr. Reimer, there's just no way I can do this map. I don't know anything about PDFs. I don't have a printer. I'm stressing out about how to write on the map. I don't know how to use DocHub. I get deep breath. I will allow you to write it in an essay. Okay, so same instructions. But instead of making an annotated map, just in an essay, do those 5 tasks, and that would be fine as well. Remember, I want to know about the impacts the Columbian Exchange had. That's what I'm looking for when I'm going to grade these. Work hard. I'll see you in the Google Meet. Till next time.